Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Laura Canfield Show, the Awaken to Happiness Now Global Series. Thank you so much for being here with us today. And today we have Jill Mattson is back with us. And we're going to be talking about cosmic realms, your personal path to the stars. We're going to be taking some live Q&A. We're going to be listening to some music and doing a guided meditation, guided process. So be open to receiving. So receive energies from the stars. We're going to connect to the stars Sirius, Regulus, and Talitha Kumi. We're going to be using some angel sigils, perhaps. We're going to be talking about the archangel Zaphkiel, Zacharil, and Jeremial. The names sometimes, my mouth doesn't work that way. And so right now, at this time, Lightworkers are yearning for a reunion with the higher energies from the stars, right? So many of us are reaching out, but it's about reaching out to, have those energies assist us with our lives here. And so we're going to be talking about what that looks like, what secrets there are in the universe that we can now use in our lifetime here on planet Earth. And so some of the stuff we're going to talk about is we're going to learn about why mankind has always been obsessively drawn to the heavens. We all have, right? I always look up to the heavens. We're going to talk about clearing ancestral energy and karma with the angels triumvirate. We're going to be sharing the ancients' fascination with the stars and know why they spent centuries building monuments that were really divine observatories and energy generators. We're going to learn about stargates and how to use them to integrate bountiful higher dimensions. We're going to access the divine powers that reside in the heavens and find out how to learn which star system you are connected to. And so much more. I mean, oh my goodness. So I'm so excited that Jill is back here with us again. And if you don't know Jill, she is a prolific artist, a musician, and an author. She's widely recognized expert and composer in the field of sound and color healing. She's also produced 9 musical CDs with intriguing magical tracks using ancient and modern techniques and special healing frequencies to achieve profound benefits. So I'm so excited to share what Jill has in store for us today. Always something different, but the cosmic realms is, I have to say, one of my favorites as well. So Jill, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm thrilled to be here and help us all get together and connect with the stars, some really high, powerful energy.
Yes, absolutely. So let's get started. Let's talk about the cosmic realms, right? Let's talk about what it is. I'm really excited to talk about the cosmic realms, what that means to you, and why you started to work with the cosmic realms in the first place.
The energy coming in from the stars alters us. You can actually purchase the star frequencies from NASA and satellites, and plants grow better. It can have a healing impact on animals. There's all kinds of things that are special about the stars, but particularly special is that, you think of 2 violins that resonate. So if I have one violin right here and I play musical note A, and this one just sits there, the A is going to sing. So energy transfers on the same frequency, kind of like magic. I always think of it like there's an invisible gerbil tunnel. And so in the same frequency, energy goes from one location to the next location. And think of the night sky, like different violins out there. There's about 15 to 20 stars in the night sky that everybody knows about: Pleiades, Sirius, Arcturus. And with the billion stars out there, we Earthlings tend to center on about 12 to 15. That's because if you look at their orbit speeds in their orbit and rotation, and you look at it and compare it to Earth's speed and rotation, planets give off a frequency in their orbit. Now, not necessarily in our hearing range, but it can be raised into our hearing range, and that's what I was referring earlier. You can buy the frequencies coming in today from NASA and satellites. It's a fact. So what's so special about some stars? And that is that we resonate with them. So there's about 12 to 15 stars that we have a sound relationship. Maybe even think of like a seesaw in some ways, because some of the stars, we have an inverse proportion with their frequencies of their orbit, which means when they're up, we're down. And if we're down, they're up. Never wonder why you have all these galactic command center and these beings all concerned about the welfare of Earth. Well, yes, they're being generous, but also they're helping themselves. Because if we're tied in this sonic link, if you can think of how people and sounds influence and vibrations influence each other on a cosmic level, you see that it's really in their best interest, as it is in ours, that we both do well. And so if you look at the ancient zodiac, which was changed at the very end of the Egyptian Empire with the Ptolemies. But prior to that, look at all the very ancient temples. They're all lining up to about 15 stars. The tales of Gilgamesh in Sumeria and the labors of Hercules in Greece. They're allegories about these 12, 15 stars. And they talk about each star having a different frequency and how it alters us on Earth. And how any frequency which can express as emotion and affect us physicality, can affect our thinking, it comes in from these stars. And it's like, think of for enlightenment, we're going to master all the colors and then they combine into white light, enlightenment. So think of the night stars, these 12, 15 stars in the sky that have a sonic resonance with the Earth in their orbit speeds, and that, you know, we're mixing all these fabulous star tones that we receive, and together it's like a higher octave of enlightenment. The ancient people, and I'm talking about the early religions prior to history, it would have been the religion of the stars, you know, a temple connects you to Arcturus or Sirius or Pleiades. And they would like use different techniques to reboot and collect the star energy. And think of their souls having roots. So like today in Canada and the USA, I mean, we're big melting pots of different races. Well, Earth is a very big melting pot of different star systems, higher beings that have seeded this planet. And so we're kind of learning from these, we're growing from these. And these ancient beings, again, prior to written history, where clearly by their temples, they're all lining with the stars. And they have many techniques that they hand down. That these higher beings, like the Anunnaki, the shining ones, the Dogons, talk about those from Cyrus B. And these they have techniques from people more, or beings more involved than us, telling us to fill up full of light, how to make these connections. And they're concerned about once we ascend, once we're enlightened, you know, it's not done. That's just a new doorway. And so people will be attuned to Cyrus, or they'll be attuned to this planet or that planet. And these planets are well documented with the gifts and the blessings that they give us. And these ancient people have ways to empower your light. Again, remember, they're more enlightened than we are. And how to connect to the stars and download the energy. And it's time for us to lighten up. So that's what we're going to do today.
Awesome. Thank you. And so all these different energies that are coming from these certain stars, from the Pleiades, from Sirius, from, you know, Arcturus, and so on, all these special energies, their frequencies are already streaming onto the planet, right? Some of us, we are already receiving them, or already working with them, right? Mm-hmm. And it is, I mean, I understand that it is for our highest good and to help us raise our frequency, raise our vibration, so that we can start to become more and more enlightened and more conscious, right?
Yes.
So, you know, we all know that we are divine beings already, right? We know that we have connections, galactic families, we could call them, right? So when we want to connect with them, I mean, for myself, I know that the Arcturians, for me, have always been about healing. For the Pleiadians, for me, have always been about raising my vibration, introducing more compassion, right? The Syrians, different tools again, but about becoming more conscious, more aware, right? But for me, it's like, okay, how else can we work with our galactic families and those energies to change our lives here, to empower us? Because, we don't want to be disempowered. We want to be empowered. And so these are our brothers, sisters, ourselves, but how can we use those energies to lift us up here now, to change our lives, empower us, all that wonderful stuff?
Okay, well, that's what we're going to talk about today. And again, going back to the ancient customs handed down through Indians, through tribes in Africa, through written scraps here and there, they describe a process in which we evolved into matter, meaning that if we're all divine beings, think of us looking like Metatron, and we're just a luminous white light. And now our light's probably, at least for me, let me talk for me, it's probably a super duper tiny pin dot of light in my major chakras. So how did I get from being this luminous sunlight being down to this physicality? And I have a lot of past life memories. I easily flip out of my body. And I remember being in temples in Atlantis and perhaps Lemuria. And I'm always in the sound healing temple. Go figure. And what I'm doing is that in these ancient memories and flashbacks, I understand that we're evolving into matter. So why would I want to be like Metatron or Archangel Michael? And why do I want to exchange that, for this? And the answer is that we're children of God growing up. And if you're not in a world with duality and density, with pain, you can't experience kindness or forgiveness. There's nothing to forgive. You can't be generous. Everybody has everything. You can't even smell a cup of cappuccino or coffee and enjoy that. That's really not in the sensory perception. They're enjoying other things. So there's reasons to come down here emotionally, physically, and in regards to dipping into duality, in which we have pain, it's kind of like going to the gym. You can go to the gym and you keep putting on more weights, and guess what? It burns. It hurts. But if you want those muscles, then you're willing to do the burn. And a lot of people are on this earth, so a lot of souls have flocked here for the fast path to evolve to become the gods that we are, children of God growing up. And we're doing it through density. So we chose. Anybody who's here chose to be here. We all chose the fast track. And in these temples, I remember that it was like God was on every radio channel at once. It's like God was connected into everything, all consciousness, all awareness. And as we became more involved, separate perhaps, to experience just a piece of things, it's like we had less radio channels. We had less connectivity. And so in these past lives, I was taking we have a silver cord that's on our head that takes light up, and I was coming up with codes amongst other sound healers, and we would literally come up with knots, blocks, ways to tie off the energy from these high stars so that we could experience ourselves as individuals. Okay, so now I want you to think that string theory is correct. And so if we're going to try to cut off all the radio channels, in a cosmic realm, you can't lock something in an iron box because it'll go right through. So what we did was we would take the little infinitesimal strings and we'd nut them. And then the vibration couldn't get through. We would disconnect us. And then whatever pattern we did, we copied down with some type of sacred geometry, and we'd have it carved in stone all over. So we'd lock it off, and then we'd leave the key. And I want you to think of Reiki. Now, Reiki's been on the planet for a long time, and after it's gotten a percentage of the population, you don't need some of the Reiki symbols. They're not as important. But in the beginning, nobody was channeling white light out of their hands. Nobody, probably nobody, most people. And you would take the Reiki class, then you look at the Reiki symbols, and it looks like scribbles. And you look at them, but that was a code. And that's the code to unlock your fingertip chakras. So you look at the code. The code is a frequency. And the code comes in at subtle, but we're talking about subtle blocks. And it opens up your fingertips. Voila, Reiki, white light. And in this manner, I remember myself and many others, we were coming up with sound codes. And when you go to all these great civilizations, you'll see all these kind of very unique carvings. And when you look at their writings and their secret doctrine, etc., etc., the codes for the ancient stars was in the temples of Egypt, and I was shown when I was out of my body how to take that diagram, that Reiki symbol, and transpose it into sound. Now, why is that important? Think of how to put this. You look at a Reiki symbol and you get this much of energy. But if you put it in sound, you get this much of energy. This dosage. Sound is going to be more powerful, stronger than looking. The ancient Hindu masters would say that you could look at a yantra most of your life, but then you would ascend at the end of that life. Or don't look at a yantra, a diagram, same kind of thing, and take 1,000 lives to ascend. So these ancient processes of looking and hearing and ingesting these powerful codes were deemed by these higher evolved people to be extraordinarily powerful. So I guess in a nutshell, what I'm saying is that we up a little silver cord, anakarana, whatever you want to call it, rainbow bridge, that as we keep going up, we're connected to these 15 stars because it's we're very much like a family in the night sky, and they were blocked off. So these stargates are methods and codes, sounds that start to unravel that, so that you can have like a direct connection, beepers, telephone, right to the star system. And that's a big part of what we're doing today. And these videos that I've done, I've taken their techniques to, these are ancient. This would be the ones that the ancestors of the ancient Egyptians taught them. And their techniques to, really powerful techniques to fill up full of light. And these star codes are just coming on the planet now because we've evolved enough to handle so much power. If you get too much light too soon, I don't know, just kind of think of burning your French fries or something. You know, it's like we need to ingest a bit in death. And so and we can get into that later, but that's why I have their techniques to kind of prepare and allow yourself to ingest and integrate more of this high star energy, and working with some angels and their sigils in sound to clear density, to clear karma, to clear pain, to clear the negative vibes, so that when we do these star sigils, it's kind of like light up night.
Awesome, I love it. I've never heard that before about the Reiki symbols and opening up our finger chakras. You know, that's the first time I ever heard that. So thank you. Wow. But I don't use the Reiki symbols anymore myself, right? I did at the beginning when I first learned it, but now I don't. But that's I love it.
Part of the population, you know, does Reiki, and then after a while, it's kind of like the whole human race gets it. But at this point in time, we certainly don't have those numbers with connecting to the stars. So that's what these stargates is what I call the stargates is all about.
So let's talk about stargates, right? So these stargates that you call them, I you know, it's like as we're talking, I'm just like opening up to, you know, what else is possible. Like especially these sound frequencies that you're talking about are more powerful than just looking at an image, right? So they're going to help you to evolve, enlighten much faster, right? But what if people are not, you know, what if they're not interested in enlightenment per se? What if they just want to fix their life today, right now?
All righty. How to put this? If you could imagine every emotion in your body as a different frequency, think of like anger and action as red, or grace and knowledge as yellow, or purple as violet as transformation, green is healing and balance. There's a, when you look at the cycles per second of color, they will literally share energy with a certain set of emotions. And so while we're on planet Earth, we're very much interested in mastering the emotions and physicality. And in a way, that's kind of like mastering the energies or the emotions of green. Think of Buddha, think of balance, think of healing. And then when you work with Jesus, think of, you know, he has his doctrine of love, but also of grace and different things associated with the gold color. So when we enlighten, we maybe come back many lives and we resonate with each one of these colors or emotions or mastery. And then we enlighten. And since that doesn't stop, our next octave, just think of each one of these stars as a different color, kind of like the same thing. You've got Pleiades, which comes in with a little different energy than Regulus, that comes in with a different energy than Sirius. And there's gifts, emotionally and physically, with each of these stars. And it's kind of like the next octave. So let's say you were hoping to graduate from grade school, and somehow you got gifted and you became a master now on a college level. Do you think grade school is going to be a problem anymore? It's just not. So what we're doing here is that we're taking the mastery of all the motions, and that includes manifesting and knowing, connectivity to other star beings, opening of psychic gifts. When we start to have the mastery of all that kind of stuff, does that fix our current life? Yeah. Yeah, it does. In a very fast and powerful way. Oops, I can't hear you.
And that's so true. You know, you're right. I mean, I know that everything that we do affects our life, right? The more that we learn, the more that we experience, you know, if we're willing to receive the changes, we do, right? And, you know, when it comes to images, I love looking at images myself, right? But sound, I know for myself too, it's more powerful, you know? It goes deeper. The frequencies go deeper, right? Or they open up more. You know, I get transported into God knows where when I'm listening, right, to sound. I love it. And but I do both, right? I have the sound and I have all sorts of wonderful images here in my space that are, you know, not just sacred geometry, but, you know, yantras, like you were talking about, right? To help me to connect again back within. You know, this is about getting my mind, you know, getting out of my mind, going back within. So here's a really quick question that Caroline was asking, which is really interesting because you might know. She heard that the older Reiki symbols were contaminated. Is that true? The symbols from 1992 through to 2012.
I haven't heard that.
Me neither. I haven't heard that either.
That doesn't mean it's not true. It means I haven't heard that. I guess I don't know.
I would just go with your own knowing, and if you want to use these symbols, use them, and use what is your intention with them, right?
I think intention has everything to do with it. If you only intend the highest light and love, then that's what you get. If you have a very strong knowing about that. And the other thing with Reiki's been around now for 25 years, easy, 30.
More.
After a while, when a certain percentage of the population has the Reiki skills and has the chakras open, it's the symbols aren't quite as necessary, if that makes any sense. Because once you get a certain percentage of the population, it's like the knowledge shifts across the entire population.
Yeah. So I wouldn't worry about it, Caroline. I would just go with your intention, your knowing, and I know that when you do your work, it's for the highest good of the person that you're working with. So I wouldn't worry. Yeah. So you kind of mentioned really briefly about the angels and the sigils. So can you talk a little bit more about them? Like what, and we talked in the beginning about the angels triumvirate. What is that all about?
Okay. Within this program, I've gotten from the ancients, like the Indians, the Dogons in Africa, the Wallabies in Australia, the Egyptian temples, all these kind of techniques to start to hold more light for health, for power, for letting your life unfold as you like. And I became very aware because I channel, and so I can connect with these beings, that it's hard to fill up full of light when you're full of pain. And it's like if I'm absolutely terrified and you come around playing Yankee Doodle Dandy, it's not going to make me brave. I might backslap you, however, if I'm really miserable. And so it's a very true thing that many of us have had tremendous amounts of pain in this lifetime. And these three angels have teamed up, angels being more powerful in threes, to basically to clear karma, to clear negativity. And the three angels, first of all, is Jeremial, and he has many names. Azrael is another one, same angel. Angel of the death. He's the one that everyone knows because we've been here multiple lives. And he's my guardian angel, and I absolutely love him. He's very soft, very deep. Think of still waters run deep, and very gentle. When I work with Archangel Michael, he's brilliant, and he's, for those who have a little hard time maybe tuning in, you don't have, he's so clear. Not so with Jeremiah, so comforting is the word. And he comes of the violet flame. He's one of the major archangels, and he's working with taking your pain. And sometimes you can feel him and put a little pressure in that little hole in the back of your head. He calls that a well of doubt. And then sometimes in the back of your heart, he calls that the well of tears. And when you ask him to work with you, sometimes you'll feel like a little pressure there and fear. And then you might feel sorrow or maybe cry a tear and not know why. And beings like that can help you take out fears, memories, ancestral stuff, like maybe there was a lot of trauma in your mother's line and your father's line that you got emotionally, genetically. And sometimes you'll find even with negativity, let's say, it's like they call it a miasm, but let's say, my grandmother was subject to tremendous abuse, and she was less abusive to her daughter, much less, but still abusive. And then that daughter was less, abusive to me. And so you see these, even though it's not genetic, you see these almost like clouds or chains that tend to follow families. So that's what Jeremiah is working on, is trying to, buck stops here, we're done with that. Clear that out. The next angel in this group that I didn't ask them, that they have chosen to work together, is Zacharil. Zacharil being more feminine, although angels are primarily androgynous, but more feminine. Mercy, kindness, forgiveness. She works a lot also with your memory and intelligence, and particularly what she's drawing to this triage is helping you to get rid of your sorrowful memories. And if you can work on those memories and rethink, reframe how someone did you into having compassion for them, then it's like you think the past is set in stone, but it really isn't. Everything's energy, including the past. And when we remember it different and we inject forgiveness, that energy changes and it affects us now. Blesses us now, not necessarily who we forgave. And then the final one is Zacharil. Zacharil is an angel that most, again, of us have known. And the other one was Violet Flame too. But Zacharil is in the Golden Flame. In other incarnations, he's been known as Zeus, Amun. We're just very familiar with this being. He's been with humanity for a very long time, coming in with the solar flame, helping to ease ascension, coming in with the violet flame, Christ consciousness. So violet and gold are complementary colors, so you have this little triage of angels coming in with transformation, purification, and illumination. And a sigil, what is a sigil? Or I've heard it pronounced so many ways. Sigil, I guess. If you look in antiquity, you'll find little symbols, just like a Reiki symbol for each angel. I like to think of them like a beeper or a direct dial line. And so in this package, I've had channeling from them, I have healing from them, and then we do their sigil. And I thought we could do one here today. Gosh, I should have thought about it because I wasn't thinking that we're doing Zoom, but all of these in the videos come with the images and the sounds. But maybe if you like, I could just do a little channeling or something, or a little healing from Jeremial, because I think we have his sigil. And again, it was in a kind of an out of body. They showed me how to take the sigil and put it in sound. And so the combination of pitch and harmonics expresses vowels.
Wow, nice. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we have that that piece of music. So whenever you want to do that, we can do that. All right. So do you want to do that now, or
why not?
Why not? Why not? All right, hold on. Let me find it. Well, no, not find. I have it, but let me hit share because I have to share it.
How about if I do a little healing first, and then you get all ready to push the button?
Okay. All right. No worries. So yeah, I mean, yeah. So let's do the healing first, and then I'll do it. Yeah, it's pretty much ready.
Okay. All right. So I'm just going to channel Jeremiah. Here we go. Blessings, my children. I have held all of you in my arms. I have an energy that's deeply familiar, very comforting, helping you to get on the right path in between incarnations. In my softness, I often give you dreams and work in a very deep, deep way. Right now, I'm going to connect with each one of you, and I'm going to put my finger in the back of your spine, up by your skull, in a little indentation. Gently, I'm going to push. Doubt is what is stored here. Doubt. Perhaps the biggest barrier to manifesting and enjoying the things you want in your life right now. We're pushing that energy out. Coming out and coming out. As that progresses, I'm going to put my hand on the back of your heart. I feel slight pressure. Pushing out pain, sorrow, broken heart. Think of someone having left you in a heartbreaking, and yet here you're with them in another life. Thinking sorrow and heartbreak from the passing of one, yet here you are with them in another life. The pain is illusionary, my eternal, beautiful children, and your inheritance and your real reality is that of glory and beauty, wholeness and love. And I feel you full of that. I'm going to listen to this sigil, this sound code, to enable me to work with you clear. You still need to invite me in and work with me, but my impact can be stronger. And I'm very grateful for the opportunity to present you this sound code, which Laura is going to play.
Yeah.
Wow, beautiful. I was like, oh my God. I remembered sometime in between to call on Archangel Jeremial, and I did. And as soon as I did that, oh my goodness, I was like so much. I don't know. I feel like I feel like I'm glowing more, right? That's how I feel. I feel like I'm glowing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Gosh, yeah, that was nice. Wow. How's everybody doing? Brenda says, wow, I saw you like lying back, Brenda, you know, with your eyes closed, lying back. Yeah, awesome. Linnell said, so glad I got here when I did. Awesome, good. I'm glad. That was lovely. Yeah, and you know, Angela says, wow, an out-of-body experience. For me, I've so much heat, you know, I just felt so much heat coming through. And Caroline says, what century are we in? Where are we, right? Brenda says, I'm so happy. Maria says, tears, so beautiful. Yeah, wow, thank you. And I asked, you know, I asked Archangel Jeremial to come in, and I asked him, you know, to clear away my doubts and my fears, you know. So I know that that's something you were intending for that piece anyways, but I also asked. Yeah, Angela says it brings the term angelic to life. Karen says totally beautiful and stunning. Sunny says dancing with the angels. Awesome, love it. Yeah, thank you. Whew. I don't even know where to go from here.
That's kind of, well, that's part of the thing, is to kind of clear your mind, clear negativity, take you into peace, recenter on that. And it is kind of hard to jump back into duality, isn't it? It is for me.
Yeah, exactly right. It's like, what am I supposed to be doing? I'm supposed to be functioning as a host here, you know? It's like, wow. That was, you know, as I'm like still thinking about it, you know, I've now like, I'm just like, I've got tears. I'm just like in, yeah, that was, you know, that awe, when you have that awe, it's like, it's so beautiful. You can't even describe, right? Yeah, swim in space. I want to swim in that space again. Yeah, incredible. Flying like an angel. So glad I was on, Melissa says. Good. I'm glad you were able to make it and stay on. So good. I don't even know where to go from this, Jill. You're gonna have to take over. You're the host now.
Well, I think we're next going to maybe go into a little bit about Sirius. This is one of the stars. My guides, they didn't give me the whole night sky. They said that humanity's ready for just you know, hunks at a time. So they've given me a handful of stars. And Sirius, being the birthplace of this universe, it's like any being that comes into this universe comes through Sirius. Think of Osiris and Isis. Osiris. There's tremendous amount of connectivity with the ancient Egyptians and Sirius. The Dogon tribe in Africa, the Wallabies, these are indigenous tribes, and most of your Indian tribes have reference to Sirius, to wolf, celestial wolf, coyote. Sirius is known for its liberation and its freedom. Sirius is the most popular ascension path of humans. Sirius is probably, all of us have an experience in Sirius, whereas not all of us have an experience, let's say, in Pleiades or Arcturus. And most people following their ascension are going to continue to work with Sirius. Sirius connects us to the heart of Mother, Father, God. Sirius is very big on ancestral clearing. Sirius unites us with the heart of God, and it's known with empowering and filling you up full of Christ consciousness. Think of the halos and that kind of light in your body. Sirius is also, think of the blue people, think of Avatar. And the the connection with the animals. Cyrus has, within the last 10 years, had a big improvement in their relationship with animals, and now we're beginning to see that on Earth because, again, we have resonance with these planets. So it might appear that we're separate, but we're not. And it's in their best interest that we evolve and fill up full of light and kindness and love, and ours that they do too. So I don't know, there's just, I mean, I could talk forever, but I would say that, I mean, what's not to like about connecting to the heart of Mother, Father, God, and Christ consciousness, and freedom and liberation, and ancestral healing. I mean, this is perhaps the most popular star path and star heritage of all of us. We all have a tiny bit of this, so it's relevant for all of us. And again, you know, another way to learn about these stars is kind of rereading Gilgamesh or Hercules, and they have stories of the mastery that we learn from this star or that star. They're allegories, both Gilgamesh and Hercules. They're the night sky. There are ancestors. There are like the souls that are braiding and weaving us. So if you would like, I could maybe do a little guided meditation.
Mm-hmm.
And then channel someone from Cyrus again. Just kind of, I don't know. Actually, I don't do too much. I just kind of turn off and let somebody turn on through me.
Right.
And then you would get the Cyrus clip. And again, this was the symbols. These are from the temples in Egypt per planet. And so we're listening, we're unlocking the code. And also, we have these anakaranas, these silver rainbow bridges, whatever you want to call it, little tiny cords that go up and up. As they go up and up, that's where we're knotted off. That's where our connectivity in remembrances of our star family was stopped, blocked,
mm-hmm.
so that we could take the fast track to be a god. And so what we're doing here is we're unblocking those. We're going way up, way. Think of, you know, thousands of feet, hundreds of thousands of feet above our heads, and we're starting to clear the channels and clear the connectivity and open up the stargate, open up the porthole to be more conscious and walk with the higher beings in these planets.
Awesome. Let's do it.
Okay. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start with a little meditation, and then if somebody channels through me, fine, and if not, but I will tell you when to start the MP3.
Yeah.
Right, here we go for Cyrus. I wish you to close your eyes. We're going to count backwards, 3 to 1. Going deeper with each count. 3, feeling very soft, very safe, innocent and perfect. Just the most beautiful state. 2, it's almost like we're inside the shell of who we are, and we're going deeper, very deep. This stillness. And 1. We're going to imagine that our consciousness is like an inch-long doll, inch-tall doll, and our consciousness resides behind our eyes. We tend to trust what we see more than anything. I'm going to pull back from that and imagine that you're disconnected now from your eyes. And we're going to go down our spine. We go to the middle of our throat and use your imagination, a very powerful spiritual tool. Look up at the underside of your chin. Just imagine what your chin would look like if you place your eyeball on your throat. We're going to go further down. We're going to see our bones going out for our shoulders. Going to sink deep, deep, floating into our chest. We're going to sit on the top of our heart. Feel the tenderness, pulsing, the beat that has been with you every moment of your life, never failing, loving with every beat. Soft love, eternal love. And now we're just going to, like we're going swimming, we're going to dive into our heart. The deep chambers. It's here that we find Mother, Father, God. One way to connect to them. Our softest, most loving, true and innocent self is in here. Yet there's a secret compartment, so protected, and you go into it. Stillness. And the love of Mother, Father, God, just so divine and perfect. Letting you know that this is you. Just feel that for a moment. Breathe it in. And we're going to start to float up to the top of the heart. Standing on top. Feeling sometimes a pulse. It loves us with every beat. Going up our neck. Up to our eyes. And moving past. Now imagine you're an inch tall standing on the top of your head. What would the top of your head look like if your eyes were so close to it? We're going to go up to the chakra above our head. We're floating on our silver cord. We're now going up about 3 feet above our head to another chakra. It's lighter, more luminous, clear. Up about 5 feet. Another energy center. And as we go up, you look down and see your head getting smaller. We're now going to go up to the 4th chakra above our head, way above our head. So far above our head, you can, in our imagination, see the roof of the building we're in, or whatever object we're in. If it's a boat, and up we go. Lighter, clearer, far-reaching, and up to the 5th chakra above our head. You can see our whole town now as we look down. We're going to go up way above, maybe see our country. Going up to the 6th chakra above our head. Going up and seeing maybe half the globe of the earth. 7th chakra above our head. Going up higher, and we can see the entire earth. 8th chakra above our head. And go further, and you can see the whole solar system in the galaxy. 9th chakra. This is the chakra that connects to the planet Sirius. And I'm going to quickly channel the high being from Sirius. Amen Hoptep is the great architect in Egypt, and he is coming through as the great architect in many of your lives. Greetings. I am a master of Cyrus, building frequency machines, a master at codes and stargates, sacred symbols, sacred pyramids, secrets of sound and physics, secrets of connectivity, filling you, illuminating you. Many of you I have been in past lives, most of you as a matter of fact. I chose not to be a pharaoh, but to have the chief builder position. And that humility served me well, as opposed to being a pharaoh. It made me focus on the sacredness of knowledge and using that for illumination, for love and light, and bringing in higher dimensions to those ancient peoples. And as time has gone on, you have become dimmer as a race to prepare for the dawn. And it does get darkest before the dawn. But I am honored here to be a part of you connecting again to Cyrus. And I will be with you as you ingest and open your connectivity to the planet Cyrus, as our beloved Alara plays the gateway.
Oh my goodness. That was so different, but I feel like there's a lot of deconstruction happening. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness.
Master builder.
You're right. So you would think it would be more like a construction, but I felt like it was like a deconstructing, taking away or breaking apart what doesn't work or what is not useful, right?
Yeah.
It's,
Opening up old crusty channels.
yeah, exactly. I'm still feeling it. For me, it was mostly here, you know, the upper chakras, mostly the head and higher. Yeah, that was like, oh my goodness, that's how it felt. It's like opening up the channels, clearing out the guck, you know. Thank you. Yeah, Brenda says yes. Well put. Yes, it's sometimes it's hard to put into words what you're experiencing.
Yeah. And what's nice is to do them over and over again, because each time you do it, you get like this high pocket of energy. Yeah.
I'm still in it, you know, so I can still feel the vibrations of the frequencies still in my field, you know.
Yeah. You know what's kind of fun, just a side fact, is that if you take the human voice up 3 octaves, it sounds like crickets. And in fact, you can get on Google and Google God's choir, cricket choir, and you'll hear they take cricket sounds down 3 octaves, and you can hear this incredible angelic choir. And that's not added, that's in the cricket voice. So if they were to do that again and up 5 octaves, you'll find that's the difference between bird song in our language. 7 octaves would be dolphins and human voice. 9 would be whales. And 11, you're starting into the stars. And so I put a lot of whales and dolphins. I started like in the sounds, little sounds in the background. I just started jumping dimensions from 3D, 5D for the bird song, 7D for the whales, 7 for the dolphins, 9 for the whales. And then some of the other tones in there are the NASA tones, literal recorded tones of Cyrus.
Wow. Yeah, I definitely heard the whales and the dolphins and the birds for sure. But it's like but I just found that the combination of all of it was doing something powerful. I can't even like my it's still working, you know, it's like my throat is clearing, you know, all sorts of wonderful good stuff. Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Wow.
And you know, when you clear things, it clears usually negativity. So sometimes you might even feel it on the way out because it leaves your field.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Good. Thank you. Wow. Huh.
Yeah.
I mean, you would think I would have, you know, you would think that I would have listened to it ahead of time. I did not. I listened to just same as you guys right now. You know, it is what it is. But wow, it's different. And sometimes you need that one too, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? And so sometimes when you're wondering, why is nothing shifting? Why is nothing changing? Why am I going through the same thing over and over and over again? That one might be useful for it to deconstruct what's not working.
It's important to work on all octaves and the full spectrum of things. Like I know some very, very, very beautiful people that always work with the high energies and the angels. And I've often seen a lot of them get cancer. And I've often thought you can sugarcoat your crap, you know. It's like you do need all the high energies, but you also need to move your baser negativities, because that's what's going to affect your physical health and staying here on this planet.
Yeah.
So you need to move density out.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, you can't just always be up there in the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. You have to look at what's down here too and start shifting and changing and moving that. Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you. Wow. So did you want to talk, take a few minutes and talk about your special offer?
Yeah, why don't we do that? I don't have it in front of me. Maybe
That's okay. I'll share it on the screen.
Okay.
Not a problem. So if you are on the live page, you can just click on special offer. If you're not, you can go to alara.at/show/Jill10, and I will share it. Give me 1 second here. Awesome. So this is the special offer that Jill has for us today, and it's all about the Stairway to Heaven, your personal path to the stars. So Jill, do you want to talk a little bit about it? I'll just start at the beginning here. It's like there's 27 videos, 6 MP3s, 1 PDF, and wonderful clearings, angel clearings. I'll let you speak.
Again, I tended to do overkill and really deliver a lot, which can be good and bad, but that's the way it is with me. And so there's over 5 hours of videos. A lot of it I go into is talking about the stars, their energies, and doing the ancient techniques to empower us. Again, techniques from indigenous people, from inside temples and portholes, very powerful ways to clear density and to build up for the light. If you start taking a lot of the star energy, like I said, if you've got a lot of density, it's hard to receive light. Someone who's in deep sorrow, if somebody comes by and is joyful, not only do they not receive that joy, but it's annoying.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very, very important to clear out those energies. And in essence, that's what the star gates, the sigils and sound, and the videos on the angel are working on clearing up so that we can lighten up. And that has profound impact on your life, because when you carry the density, in addition to ultimately making you sick, it attracts other low density. When you're really full of the light and the beauty of the life and higher octaves, those dark things are repelled. They're not attracted. And you'll find some of the dark energies, of course, slow down your manifesting as well. So working on in videos, talking about the ancient teachings of the different stars, how to use them. And then I go into, so we work with lighting, filling up full of light, preparing for it, clearing the density, working with the angels, and then going into the stargates. Mm-hmm. We listen to the sounds, but they come with videos, so they have symbols, which are going to make it more powerful.
Right.
An ancient technique is to even make the shape with your hand. So Tai Chi, for example, you're fixing your energies by the movements of the Tai Chi. So these beings even taught me that once you get the symbol, by making the symbol with your hand is another way to add more dosage, mm-hmm. more power to the healing you're going to get. And so I did the stargates and the angels in video, so you could get to all layers. Mm-hmm. But I also included them in MP3s in case you want to loop them. And I put them on your phone or device, very low. Could you imagine sleeping to those?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You'd be gone. You'd be gone, right?
Yeah. And as you can see, like you've got up here, like these are some of the different methods and techniques of mm-hmm. stars, filling up full of light in the earlier part of the package that I was talking about.
Yeah.
And so I think that's, and oh, in the Stardust CD. Stardust is my music, and it literally has all of the stars in our solar system. I've gotten a lot of people, it's music, and the stars twinkle as sounds in the background. Had a tremendous amount of people write about it. This album, healing animals, big healings on animals, mm-hmm. plants growing double. If you do your aura before and after, you'll see this music lights up your aura. White light. And so I have the frequencies of the planets in our solar system, tapings from NASA of the planets in our solar system, and the frequencies of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen. Just in that's basically what the stars are made of, and that's basically what the body's made of. Different proportions, but it's the same building blocks. So it's kind of like an elemental tune-up.
Right.
Just a beautiful piece of music with light.
Awesome. So all of that's available for $97. And again, it's available at alara.at/show/Jill10. Thank you so much, Jill. And that's a lot of work that you've put into your work, into creating this package, but just to creating your work that you have. You've done a lot of work, you know. So it's quite inclusive, is what I wanted to share. So Karen says, I've heard Sirius is most like we describe heaven. Is that right?
Yes. Yes.
Can we ask to go there in the next incarnation?
If she's asking that question, I'm sure that's her life path. Most of the people on Earth, that's their path. That's their, we're mostly seeded from Sirius.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Karen. Good question. Can we go there? Yes, you can. This can be your last incarnation on this planet if you want, right?
And why not?
Sometimes we think that when we're here, but then when we go, then we change our mind and say, yeah, I'm gonna come back one more time. Who knows, right?
But then you come back pretty squared away.
Yeah. It's different when we're in between. Karen says, thank you, I'm going. I hear you, Karen. I do. I honestly do. I get it. All right. So does anybody have any other questions about the frequencies, the stars? Oh, how do we know where we originate? Angela is asking.
Well, I would say that the primary ones, where maybe 98% of humanity come from, are the stars of associated with Gilgamesh and Hercules. Again, it was before the zodiac became important, and the zodiac, being a bunch of stars with a symbol, that came at the end of Egypt. But within each zodiac, you're going to find very important stars that have seeded the Earth, kind of like around the ecliptic. And one way to do it, this is fun, you get out at night and look at the night sky and notice how you feel. And then in your mind, imagine to draw the night sky in half. And look at half and notice how you feel. Look at the other half. You'll find, surprisingly, you feel better on one half or the other. So let's say I like my right half, then I'm going to divide that in half. And I'm going to see whether I like the top or the bottom. And you will feel lighter, more special, more beautiful with viewing just 1/4 of that sky. And keep doing that down until you narrow down to one star. And there's free apps that you can identify that star. That's one way. Many of us have been on several stars. We're a big mixing pot here down on Earth, and so many of us have mixed heritage. And think, even if we were, let's say, for example, I'm not, but let's say I was only from Sirius, I probably married and been given birth from and to people from other souls from other star systems. So it's amazing how our soul threads weave in and out of the stars that resonate with the Earth. So we all have perhaps a little familiarity with all of them, like if I live in the United States, and we all appreciate the beauty that comes from the Italians, that comes from the Africans, that comes from the Norwegians. We know some of these blessings, and they're familiar and they're fun, and they become part of us. And so it's a little bit like that. If you have an attraction to a particular star, some people I know went to Avatar and were, dumbfounded, mesmerized. Are they from Sirius? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that was just looking like at home. And other people went and said, Well, maybe they didn't spend much time in Cyrus. So anything that you're attracted to, that makes you feel good, that piques your interest, there's something within your soul, within your unconscious mind, that's drawing that to your attention, that's saying, hey, message from home, you're loved.
Awesome, thank you. So is Avatar some sort of theme park or something that I'm missing?
A movie.
No, yeah, definitely the movie. Yeah, I thought maybe they had created something else too. So yeah, I loved Avatar the movie. I thought it was great.
I did too.
One of my favorites, So yeah, okay, cool. So Melissa has a question. She said, for decades during my dream time, I have my head and an eagle body. Maybe I missed something. And an eagle body, and I circle the earth singing songs to her. It fits with my Native American blood and teachings. However, when I meditate, the Egyptian being with a hawk head and human body with a staff appears. Is this connected? Is there a connection to any of my service work?
Yes, I would say that the hawk head, I'm thinking of Horus.
Yeah.
And not necessarily even the eagle. What's that other? There's another bird that's very, very big, common more in the ancient Egyptian world, but top of the food chain kind of a bird. And raptor, maybe. Anyway, in ancient times, with the involution, they would say that the animals have not evolved as much into duality. Some, but some of them are kind of like a half a feet in a higher dimension, like the dolphins or the whales, aren't as immersed into density. So when you look at the Egyptian gods and you've got like a head of an eagle and body of something else, the higher part's the eagle, the lower part's the human, not the way that we might be diffusing. It's the human part that's better. And with that came the Horus is the temple of in Egypt of the Pharaoh. And with think of both of those. Think of a life path where you see the bird's eye view, where you're seeing the bigger picture, where you've come to perhaps bring together a whole, like this modality, that healing modality, and bringing it together. And so the Pharaoh would have to be an expertise on all the temples, and think of each temple like a different note or emotion. Isis is talking about love, and this one's talking about a sound, or this one's talking about the sun, Amun Ra. And so the Horus or the eagle coming around, it's like you're the lace, you're bringing it together, you're weaving the path of the rays, and that is a path after you ascend, is becoming a master in each one of the rays or each one of the disciplines, and making it better, unified whole. So, and very often there's people with those life paths that have had familiarity with maybe 12, all of these stars. And that's part of the life path, is learning the beauty and the blessing of all of it. It would be like taking the life in each one of our continents and experiencing the different races and the beauties and the things that race is good, and then pulling that all together. Kind of like.
Yeah, so Melissa, pull it all together, all of your gifts and talents, pull them all together and use them all together for the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Awesome. And Caroline says, Caroline, I'm going to laugh at this for a second, but Caroline says, I'm eagle head and horse body. Where's the human?
Where's the human? Sorry. I lost over that. Eagle head and horse body. No.
Horse.
Yeah,
horse.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
like a galloping horse,
Oh, I did mishear it. I did totally miss it. Okay, let me think on that one. Eagle head and horse body.
Yeah, and that's why I said, where's the human?
Okay. I thought it was Horus. I was thinking about Horus, and then I thought about, the Egyptian god.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing. All right, let me think for a moment. The horse body. Cyrus. The animals that Cyrus gifted to us would be your horses, cows, deer. Now think of looking into those deep, deep, dark eyes of a horse and then look into those deep, dark eyes of a cow or a deer and see how they feel. They're very similar because they're from Sirius.
Mm.
So I would say, obviously, you got a strong connection to Sirius. And again, the eagle to me is its leadership, it's Pharaoh, it's big picture, it's drawing it all together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which she's doing, which is awesome. And Randy's asking about, what about Bigfoots? He said he met one, and orbs.
What about Bigfoot? I don't know about Bigfoot, since I haven't seen one, but I don't know offhand what planet that would be from, because I haven't seen one. Orbs are from a variety of planets and different dimensions. Just because we only experience the third dimension and time doesn't mean dimension 5, 6, 7, and 8 don't exist. Think of dimensions like this. There's a point, it's on a line, so we went from one dimension to 2 dimensions. That line's on a piece of paper, we fold it up, it's now a house. So note that the point is on the line, is on the house, is in time. So your dimensions are going to be like nesting within each other. So as we sunk into duality, that's all we were able to experience. But the other world can still be there. We just don't have access to it. And someday, maybe I'll be given codes to start to open that up, or someone else will. But I would say that little beings are different entities, and they probably are from the stars.
Mm-hmm. Awesome, thank you. And Melissa says, beautiful, makes sense to me. It was about the, I forgot now. Sorry about that. And really pulls a lot of me into focus. So thank you. Yeah, big picture, all your gifts together and share and express, right? Yeah, bring them all together. Awesome, thank you. You are so knowledgeable. Oh my God, you have so much wisdom.
Was given to me, so thank you.
You're like, you know so much. Oh, wow. So Maria says, I had a vision of Isis with a large basket walking up the Nile. What does that mean, do you think, Maria?
Is definitely from Cyrus.
Mm.
And she is one of the many divine feminine coming in to teach us different attributes of love. So think of light going through a crystal and breaking out into, let's say, the colors of the rainbow. So love can be action-oriented, pink. Love can be balancing, green. Love can be nurturing, blue. So Isis is coming in on the divine feminine with our feelings. And so it's not just the feminine and being the perfect wife and mother, which she definitely is showing, undying loyalty for Osiris. But she's also showing us about being a mother. She comes in showing us divine ways for traditional roles for women. And carrying a basket, to me, I don't know what shape it was, but I'm thinking womb, egg shape, container, container of life. So I would, if I saw Isis walking amongst the Nile being life, here you have the divine feminine with a container to hold light. And here she's walking on the river of life. Perhaps that's reflecting life path of divine feminine and giving that gift to life all around you.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say birthing a new creation, birthing a new gift, you know, and sharing that out with the world. Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Maria. Good luck with that, you know. So yeah, go create. We talked about this before. Go create, you know. you're being blessed with these visions and with these frequencies and with these energies and these gifts. So, take a step. Awesome. Thank you. All right. So, Jill, is there any other last words of wisdom that you have for us today?
I guess the stars are in you, so let them twinkle.
Beautiful. Thank you. All right, everyone. So please do take a look at the special offer that Jill has for us. It's absolutely powerful. There's so much information, wisdom, and techniques, and tones and frequencies. There's just so much in there. She does over deliver for sure. For sure. And again, that is available at alara.at/show/Jill10. All right. So thank you, everyone. Have a great weekend. Have a great weekend. And until next time, just a really quick note. Join me on Sunday for the prayer circle. On Sunday, it is the festival of Diwali, right? The festival of lights. So I'll be turning on all my lights. My husband will be like, oh my God, all the lights will be on and all the candles too. So celebration time. All right. So thank you, everyone. Until next time, may you continue to be blessed with an abundance of joy, peace, love, happiness, prosperity, and radiant health. Sending you all much love and blessings always. Bye for now.